Buying and selling a home can be a stressful, emotionally exhausting process for both buyers and sellers. On the seller side, if you're selling your own personal home, it's likely filled with many memories and a lot of history that unfortunately you have to let go. On the buyer side, when you find a home that you want to put an offer in, you start fantasizing yourself living in the home, how it suits your needs, and the new life you might live in the home. If you're up against multiple offer competition, you start to worry that your offer might not be high enough, and if you don't win the home, it can feel like you lost out on a dream. When you're in multiple offer competition, there's no doubt that money talks. The offer amount is a way to quantify which offers are better than another, but sometimes as a buyer, you want your offer package to be more than just a number and to provide some context on who you are as a buyer. One way to do that is in the form of a personal letter. A letter is in most cases written to the seller from the buyer and is often attached with the offer to purchase. I've used it successfully with a number of my buyer clients, and today I'll tell you when it's appropriate to include a letter and when you should probably leave it out. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, please like and subscribe and ring the bell to hear about all my latest content. For anyone that wants to get in touch, you can reach me on my website at johnleehomes.ca, by email at johnleerealestate@gmail.com, or by phone or text at 647-983-0770. A personal letter should only be written for buyers who are end users. If you're an investor who are only interested in the property for its land value or its structure, most sellers won't have much sympathy to your purchase, and in some instances, including a letter describing your intentions with the property could even hurt your offer. A personal letter should talk about who you are as a buyer, what you love about the home and the neighborhood, how you plan on living in the home, and include a picture of yourself and your family. It should minimize any mention of altering the home, for example, stating that you plan a large interior renovation, and should focus solely on what is great about the home as is. A well-written letter will also try to tie in similarities about the home or seller that may be personal. For example, I had a client who wrote a letter saying that their daughter's name was the same as the original owner's name, who had recently passed, and I was told it felt deeply personal to the children of the owners who were selling it. I had another client who bought a back split and wrote that they were excited to have their parents be able to visit from overseas for extended periods and live with them in the lower level. This had also been very personal for the sellers, as when they purchased the home some years earlier, they had their parents initially live with them as well. The goal in the letter is to try to add a human element to the offer rather than it being all about the numbers. While you could theoretically write a letter for every offer you submit, it's not going to matter for many types of sellers. I find it's most effective for homes that have been in the same family for a number of years and have some history to it. By history, I don't mean it needs to be a century home or anything like that. Rather, I mean a home where the current homeowners would have some personal memories that might make the seller feel better knowing who ends up living in the home. I find homes that have been owned by the same owners for over 15 years are good ones for letters. I also believe estate sales are good options. These are sales where the current owner has passed away and an executor, often the children, are selling off their family home and want to preserve the memory of their parents. Homes that letter writing is not going to be effective are flip jobs where the seller is looking to maximize profit, an investment property that was rented out, a home with a lot of deferred maintenance, the owner didn't care for the home and probably doesn't care who the buyer is, and homes that are being sold by many younger sellers. For the young sellers, they're often looking to buy up in the marketplace and need to take the proceeds with them in their next purchase. They'll be less sympathetic to who buys a home. While we try to humanize our offer with our letter, the numbers and terms of the offer still do matter most. A personal letter only improves your chances of winning a home if your offer is within contention of winning the property, meaning you need to be amongst the top offers and within market value range of the property. If your offer is well below market value and you've attached a personal letter and communicate that the offer you submitted is the best you can do, I imagine it might feel a bit insulting to the seller and obvious to the listing agent that the buyer's agent hasn't educated their buyer on what they can truly afford in the market. No matter how personal your letter may be, if the next best offer is 10%, 15%, 20% higher than yours, the seller will almost certainly go for more money. In a sense, in order to win the home, you have to put your money where your mouth is. So how does it actually help you? Well, that's a bit difficult to say exactly. It might give you a chance to stay in the game when the top offers are invited to the next round of offer improvements and your offer might be on the lower end. In that instance, the seller may want to sell to you emotionally, but rationally, your offer is just too low, so they're hoping you'll raise it to a point where rationally it's okay to accept your offer. Or on an offer night with a poor turnout, if your offer is the best and still at the lower end of market value, the seller might relent and accept your offer because you showed up, you told them you love the house, and they appreciated that even if it was a bit less than what they were hoping for. Or it might come when the difference is relatively menial. Your offer is, say, a couple thousand below the best offer, but the sellers like your profile and think that your offer amount is good enough. So that's it. Are you going to include a letter on your next offer? Any questions or comments, you can leave them down below. And if you're looking for any assistance in real estate in the Greater Toronto Area, you can reach me online at johnleehomes.ca, by email at johnleerealestate@gmail.com, or by phone at 647-983-0770. I'll see you guys on the next one.